Atlas.
So what is going on, everybody? So today we're going to talk about Atlas. Today we're going to do the Atlas profile. And this is going to be a little bit of a longer video because I want to actually like talk about Atlas a little bit more. And I want to focus on him with him being the newer character. And most of my characters I wait until I'm level 20 to do. But he's at 19 and that's close enough. And I really can't be bothered to finish playing him off yet. To get him to 20. He's currently my lowest level at level 19. I begrudgingly have Evie at 21. She's my worst. Canessa's 21, but it's not really that I suck at her. I mean, I'm not that great. It's just I don't like playing her. I'd much rather prefer Strix. But not to get off topic.
Atlas.
So when we look at Atlas, Atlas is an interesting tank. A lot of people, particularly PC people, say he is overpowered. He's strong. He's in Makoa Khan territory. And then there's a lot of people that say, oh, he's underpowered. He's pretty weak, and they're mostly console players. He's actually pretty close to being in the middle. Let's look at what Atlas does right. Let's look at his abilities. Let's start. He's a high damage tank. He has a primary weapon that you have to charge the shot. So the longer you hold it down, the tighter the spread on your weapon gets until eventually it becomes pinpoint accurate. And it fires automatically when fully charged. It deals 900 damage. It is hit scan. It is not a projectile, and it deals headshot damage, 1350 to be precise. It is a high damage weapon. Now let's talk about the bad. There is a delay between you firing your primary shot and being able to use your other abilities. Your L1, your R1, your basically your everything else. Your L1, your R1, your L2, your triangle, all those things. Yeah, you gotta wait a half second. And then there's usually a half second delay between using those, between being able to then charge a gun. This is so the gun can recenter itself and begin charging again. So there's actually 4 different fire modes. You can just quick tap R2, and that basically just fires off the basic spread of 15 pellets. You can charge it a little more for a slightly tighter spread. You can charge it for a little more for an even tighter spread. You can charge it all the way for that fully charged shot. It does good damage, but that lockout time kills you. Because once you start charging, you have to commit to it. You can't cancel. So you fully charge the shot, you fire it, then there's a half second between you being able to use, it's like a split second between you being able to go from charging the shot, from you firing the shot to being able to use other abilities while the gun's recentering, and then there's a split second delay if you use an ability before you can then begin starting to charge the weapon. But it is a balancing factor for the amount of damage that this weapon deals. The only downside is if you are trying to use fully charged shots, Cauterize and Wrecker aren't effective. Wrecker is great because you can burn through it very quickly, but if you're not trying to one-shot a shield with like max Wrecker, it's pretty much useless. Remember, you have to factor a minimum of 2 seconds between shots if you're going for fully charged shots. So, yes, you deal a lot of damage, but unless you're dealing with a shield that's going to stay up for a long time, like an extra health, extra duration, Barrack, Ashe, Fernando, those types of shields, Wrecker's not helpful. And it's the same situation as Sha Lin without recurve, where if you look at him, it takes a second and a half to draw back his arrows, but with recurve, you draw it back slightly faster. My problem is it just takes too long to reapply that Cauterize. It is effective if you're planning on going for like half charge shots, but if you're going for fully charged, it's not great. So now we'll talk about the other thing that is great. His L1, his stasis field. This is a giant wall for 5 seconds that cannot be removed. You can't destroy it. You can't remove it. The only thing you can do is go around it. It nullifies everything that passes through it, except for people. You know, the downside to this ability is really the fact that it has a long cooldown. And this is the thing with all of Atlas's abilities, they have long cooldowns. His legendary card, Temporal Divide, it's kind of shit. It's a fun meme build to run. It's not anything serious. You have to realize Chronos 3 will drop the cooldown from 21 seconds back down to about 14 seconds. So Chronos 3 gets you back to normal on that card. It's not good on its own. You're basically just eating away credits and eating away for a giant shield. It doesn't last longer, it's just bigger. If it lasts longer, I could understand that, but There's no real downside to it. It just forces enemies to go around it. It's one of the strongest shields in the game, and there is so much loadout potential. Like, this is what I like to run with it. I can heal up to 400 health per second for 3 seconds. I can heal for get 30% increased healing. It is strong, the amount of healing that you can get with that shield being active, even for a limited time. It is strong. And because it nullifies anything that passes through it, you can nullify certain ults, certain deployables. It's fantastic. We'll talk about, now we're getting fishy. Second Chance, this is your ability. It rewinds you back 5 seconds. Your health is restored to the highest value it was in that period. It's important to remember when using this ability, it's a great way to restore a chunk of your health. It's not good if you don't know where you were 5 seconds ago. If you use this too early, like you just get to the point and you try and use this, you're gonna fuck yourself over. You're back in spawn, or you're halfway back to spawn, and you're now out of the fight. You have a nice chunk of health, but you're gonna lose all that health by the time you get back up there, trying to fight your way back up to the point. It's good in situations where you've been on the point and you've been holding point, and they start to take away your health, and you rewind yourself, so you stay on the point, you're still contesting, you're still capturing, but you're just getting the health back, and you're damage immune while you're doing it. And Stable Fissure is solid. I personally find that to be his best card, because there's no trade-off to it. It just leaves behind an extra bit of damage after 3 seconds, where it deals 900 damage. And it has a very wide area of effect. Now, it doesn't hit the full 900 at the outskirts of it, but it still hits for some damage. It's basically a nice way to confirm extra damage for free. And considering that Atlas does that very well, doesn't do that very well to begin with, that's helpful. One thing I also note on Atlas is the games where I have like 100k in damage with him are the games that the rest of the team just isn't pulling the load, and I'm usually top damage.
Atlas.
The last thing we're going to talk about in big detail is his setback. His ult's pretty simple. You hit somebody, they're banished, they cannot be interacted with. That means they can't move or use any of their abilities. They are not supposed to be healed, but to my knowledge, they can still get healed. I've been healed while I've been banished by Atlas, so it's mostly good in Siege for if they're trying to come onto the point and you don't want them onto the point, you banish them before they get on the point, so that you don't have to worry about them contesting it. Or you can use it, if you can time it right, you can hold them in place for maybe a Dredge or a Sky ult if they're going to get out of it, but the timing has to be precise. Really, it's Setback is the problem for me. Now, Setback can be devastatingly effective for you, or it can be devastatingly effective for the other team. So it is a skill shot, and all Deja Vu does is it turns it into an AoE. So it's no longer like a precise, like a Makoa hook. It's now just an AoE like an Amani Frostbomb or a Dredge Scuttle. And it sends anyone hit by it back in time where they were 4 seconds ago, and it reverts their health back to its lowest point in that period. Now, this is great if you're using it to get to reposition a target. If someone is flanking, you can just hit them and reposition them back and force them to go through it all over again, while at the same time their health is reverted to the lowest point. The problem is both that and this. You don't know, if you don't know where they were 4 seconds ago, you may be putting them right next to their healer, right next to their tank, right next to a sniper, who is going to protect them. So it's not necessarily that easy to finish them off if you don't know where they were. And in theory, you could charge your shot so you have a fully charged shot so that when you see them, bam, you can hit them and they're dead. That's not the case. Also, mind you, if you revert them back, like I've had this happen all the time, and Atlas reverts me right back to my healer, and they're like, oh, hey, here's a heal for you. And I'm back to full health, and it's like, okay, so now I just have to, like, go flank again. Woohoo. It's not anything real strong. As usual, we're going to put ourselves into an onslaught and play a game. I do have a new build I want to test out that gives me even more healing potential. And that's what we're going to try and go with. I'm waiting for everybody to come in for a tournament. We're trying to run a tournament practice. I'm also currently fighting with my Discord app, so if you see me over here, that is because I'm saying fuck Discord right now. And it's just annoying me because I don't even want to get into it. Just fuck Discord. I have my Jim fucking Sterling shirt on. But we're gonna roll with it, and we'll see how well we do. Atlas can be strong. He can be weak. It really just depends on your aim. He can rewind a Makoa. He's good at rewinding a couple of things. Like, he's good at potential. Here's the potential for the rewind. It's you have to know how to use it. I have seen so many Atlases that, like, there are some people I will not play around them if they're playing Atlas, because they rewind everything in sight, and it ends up they will rewind a low health flank that I am about to kill right next to their Ceres. That's the big thing that pisses me off with his rewind ability. It is devastatingly effective. You can rewind Makoa ults, you can rewind Atlas after he rewound himself. But the downside to it is really that if you don't know where they were 4 seconds ago to rewind it, or if you run the card that extends it by another, 2 to 3 seconds, if you don't know where they were, you don't necessarily know where you're rewinding them to, you may also rewind them behind you. I've seen sometimes a flank that was running away and trying to retreat with no health, and Atlas rewound them and put them back behind our team, and by that point in time, their rewind just saved that character from being killed, and now they come back and fuck us all over. A bad Atlas will wreck your team, and I think he, more than any other tank in the game, has that fine line. You are either good or bad. I had a ranked game right before reset that I stopped playing ranked for the rest of the split because of it. This guy, we had a perfect team comp going. We got Talus. I didn't want to play Talus. I wanted Grover. Great. I had to give up Grover to a level 1 Atlas because the one guy that wasn't in game chat decided, I'm gonna practice Atlas for the first time in Diamond Q rank. And we lost the game for nothing because I had to switch and take over Atlas.
Choose your champion.
Yeah, him. This is again, this is another one of those maps. This is already a bad map to begin with. So having Atlas here, if my rewinding is bad and I'm accidentally fucking my team over, this is gonna be like a 400 to 100 loss. But if I'm able to time my rewinds right and I'm able to position them well, this will be fine. I have a new build I want to test if I actually get a good healer. Atlas is another character that's very strong in the vein of an Inara and a Barrack. They can sustain themselves quite a bit. Okay, this is a Ceres. I'm going to test that build. Even if she goes Agony or Soul Collector, if I can get a heal every 5 to 6 seconds, I'll be happy. I'm not expecting Ceres spam, so this is good. The big oh yeah, we've got a bunch of flanks here. I'm going to go crazy with this. I think the big problem that I really have... yeah. That can be fun. I like his rewind better. His second chance for that damage immunity, I like that ability better than his rewind. It's like people talk on PC talk about it all the time, oh, he's so strong right now. He's not really that strong on console though. He's mid-tier. We're going Unstable Fissure. That's what I pretty much always run because there's no drown side to it. I'll go, this is the new build I want to test, see if I can get this to work right. And what did she run? She went Agony, of course, so... he went so... I'll go with,
Group up!
Nah, I can't go rejuve. I need caught. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Calm down, Sky. I know how to play tank, thank you. I have more tanks at level 50 than you do, I guarantee it, so don't tell me how to attack the objective. Shoot. It's annoying. Two different metas, but the problem is there's no real console metas that are talked about. Most of your content creators on YouTube are going to be PC people, not console. So you have to take it with a grain of salt that anytime someone posts something, they're going under the assumption that that is what we're... Ooh, nice timing. What? And the fire is still trapping me.
Need healing.
you're not good. Yeah, oh, she's a spammer, that's why. Take the Haven. The damage reduction helps. Trying out new sensitivity, it does work. You're pushing alone. Ah, I couldn't get the rewind off there. The delay is killing me. I haven't even seen any of the new champions yet. I've gotten to the point, I don't deal with the hype meter anymore. I don't deal with hype meter for new champions, because Koga... I mean, Koga was that champion for me. See, that did nothing for me. I tried, because I didn't know where... My aim is pretty good on Atlas. That's what takes so long. Ah, yeah, I'm fighting 1v4. Nah.
Show them no mercy.
The Sky hasn't bought any items and she's complaining about need healing. Shut the fuck up.
Enemy killing.
Let me get need healing, need healing. Called it! This is not how we win a game. No, you're dying. Okay. Ah!
Enemy killing spree.
I put the wall up. I'm dead here.
Enemy killing spree.
It doesn't matter, trying to push. Trying to push, trying to get something.
Enemy double kill.
Nah. I would say this game is going a lot better. If we had Genos, I would be fucked right now. Like, you have no idea the burning hatred for Genos that I currently have. Because everyone picks him in rank, everyone says he's the top pick, he's the meta because of PC, and it's the fact of the matter, he is not good at sustaining multiple tanks. No, he is not good for sustaining... Oh, you're dying, thank you. He is not good for sustaining multiple high health targets. He's great for sustaining lower flanks and damages and applying Luminary. Bye-bye! But I just saved him right there. I just saved. See, that's an example of how not to play Atlas. I literally just saved him. I'm buying COD 3 even though in the earlier in the video I said COD 3 is bad on Atlas, or just Floodlight in general. Ooh, got it. Oh, there's fire behind. But that fire is cracking. I can't do anything for that. I mean, there's no point in buying extra reach if I'm not getting that much healing. Sky, stop spamming need healing. Maybe she's selling. Ah! Just got that off. Oh, I'm dead here. It's not a buff, to be honest. It's a buff to his turret build, to his self-care turret. If you like playing around like a self-care build that I have, it's nice. It's not really good if you had a specialized build. I used to have a bowling ball build around Rocket Boost, but they nerfed the card, so now it's about 2 seconds less than what I could get before. If you look at the Barricade build, the Barricade build has been nerfed. The build that I used to have, they've nerfed that. It's now about a second or two lower than what I used to have. It's not really that strong anymore. If you use default, like if you're using the default stuff, it's better. The buff to his damage in the ult is substantial. But that's about it. I've always played him out of Tinkering, though. I've never played... Well, I've played Hair Trigger, and then they removed that. I play nothing but Tinkering, unless I'm specifically running Fortify. Ah! God. There we go. Good job. I did not pull that off. No, I thought I could time that right. Stand behind, stand behind. Oh, I'm dead here. Coach Lost, he did put a nice comeback in. Let's get Haven 2 and 3. Shut up! It's gonna be a nice comeback, but it's just gonna fall short. 2 deaths, 1 death now, and they got it. I'm just gonna try and go in and do something.
No mercy.
Ah, the turret hit it. Yeah, somebody died.
You have failed your king.
Once again, people, spamming your healer is not going to make them heal you anymore. It's just going to dissuade them from healing you even further. I don't know. I really don't think Barrett's going to change all that much. Aerotonic is still shit. It really is. It's still shit. I think Fortify is good, but to make it really strong, you've got to put more points into it where it makes you reliant on a healer, and that kind of takes away from what Barrack does, in my opinion. Barrack is very strong as being like a sit on point. I can heal myself. I don't really need to be all that aggressive. Now you look at my damage numbers right here. I'm 3rd on my team in damage, behind the Andro and the Leon. Now that Skye was shit, because she spent more time spamming need healing than she did actually dealing damage. Now Seris wasn't going for a healing build, that's part of the thing. 16k healing, that's subpar, but I'm Atlas, I can heal myself. The problem really was I just don't think we had enough push in us. Fury could sit in the back pretty much unopposed. Andro tried, but there wasn't really any way he was doing well. And Skye didn't do anything. If you notice, my damage was solid. I died 9 times, second least on the team. That's not really saying anything about how good I was. 6 kills, 13 assists. Yeah, Barrack does strong damage. At close range, he does strong damage. The turret card is weak because it does an extra 20 damage per shot. It's nothing to sneeze at. I already went over some of that in the last video as to how strong Barrack is now. He's still mid-tier. He can play solo tank well. He can play 2 tank well. It really just comes down to what he's countered with. Like, my old Barricade build, you know, I actually had 2 less points in Palisade and Foundation, 1 point less in each. And I had those in Brave and Bold, and it made him a bit tankier. You could put those in Healing Station. There's just not enough sustain here. So if you're running a designated Fortify build, it's not that strong anymore because you're more reliant on a healer. If you're running an old bull, like, I used to have Red Streak in here at 5. And now, and I had a hybrid build that was basically this build. I didn't have failsafe in there. But now, I actually have a kind of tanky bowling ball build, because Red Streak only reduces the cooldown by 4 seconds. It's not enough. I used to have 7-second cooldown reduction, plus I had eliminations reducing cooldowns. This build right here, where you get 50% cooldown reduction on elimination, you can stack that and do it really strong. How about a Grok Barrack thing? This is your best bet. This is what I run. This is the best build you can get on Barrack, in my opinion. Is just tank. This is a tank build. And this is another reason why I hate Genos. I've had a Genos heal me for 220 per second. My turrets heal me for 225 per second. And I can have 2 of them. Fuck you, Genos. I hate Genos healing. I really do. I like playing as Genos, in TDM Onslaught, I just don't like having him in Siege. I don't think in ranked with 2 tanks that you should be running a Genos, because especially if you're running Luminary, your primary focus is going to be trying to keep that Luminary heal on your DPS, as opposed to the tank that is dying and may need help. I mean, he can be strong, but he works best in a 2-healer setup, and a 2-healer setup to me is a problem because he's just not that effective. I'm going to wrap up the Atlas video right here, and I'll set up another one in a sec. So if y'all want to keep watching,